If you've watched my debates with Danzil Monk so far, the links are in the description bar, or even if you don't have time to watch 2 90-minute debates, you may be curious at my takeaway from the discussion on the moral nature of the God of the Bible. So here you go. As he makes clear throughout the debate, Danzil doesn't deny that the God described in the Bible inflicts horrific atrocities on humanity, repeatedly and deliberately causing unnecessary harm and suffering, including to the most vulnerable among us, and even to those who love and follow him. He just believes that when God does it, it's good. To me, that's extreme moral relativism, because it means morality is based on who you are, rather than what you do. But it's behavior that defines evil. If you deliberately and unnecessarily cause atrocities, you're evil and should be regarded as such. For us to do otherwise because of religious beliefs would be to abandon critical thinking and abdicate any sense of moral responsibility. Thus the saying, morality is doing what is right regardless of what you are told. Religion is doing what you are told regardless of what is right. Now, if someone actually has a good reason for committing atrocities, I'm willing to listen. But that reason had better be really, really good in order to justify such behavior. However, if all he has is a promise that he knows everything and has a plan, well, I'm sorry, but that's just not good enough. Not by a long shot. And when that person has already made it clear that his plan includes having all people be born automatically wicked and deserving only of death, and then torturing the vast majority of humanity forever for not worshipping him, how is it in any way rational to believe such a being is good, especially considering he's supposed to be all-powerful and thus, by definition, has no need to achieve his goals by causing immense suffering? Thus, causing immense suffering must be his real goal. How someone so profoundly evil can be considered good by any stretch of the imagination just makes no rational sense. I even asked Danzil twice for an example of something God has done that is good, but I received no answer. The fact that it's so easy to come up with examples of God causing evil, while no examples of God doing something good sprang immediately to mind, should be a hint that there is something deeply, fundamentally wrong with Christian theology. But the part that disturbs me the most is when apologists fall back on the old "God works in mysterious ways" excuse for his egregious behavior. I get why Christians say this. They have to, because it's the only way for them to justify putting their own moral outrage on hold, which allows them to avoid the cognitive dissonance caused by acknowledging God's apparently evil behavior and the unacceptable but unavoidable conclusion that he is evil. There is something truly insidious and dangerous about this way of thinking. It allows the believer to commit evil without even realizing it. As the philosopher Ludwig Feuerbach said, wherever morality is based on theology, wherever the right is made dependent on divine authority, the most immoral, unjust, infamous things can be justified and established. Or, as Voltaire put it more simply, those who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities. That is the danger posed by people who accept that the God of the Bible commits and orders atrocities, yet also believe that those actions are good because God has to be good. They can justify doing evil as long as they believe it is sanctioned by God. If I may be permitted one more quote, this one from Steven Weinberg, "With or without religion, you would have good people doing good things and evil people doing evil things. But for good people to do evil things, that takes religion." Coincidentally, I'm almost done watching a TV series called Midnight Mass. It's a horror show with way too much exposition, but it does an excellent job of portraying the exact issue I'm talking about: Christians committing atrocities in the belief that they are following the will of God. I can't help but wonder what Danzil would do if he heard a voice in his head that he believed was God ordering him to sacrifice his own child. But unlike with Abraham and Isaac, nobody intervened. If we don't have the right to judge the Christian God according to our standards of morality, as Danzil claims, how can we possibly know if we are abdicating our sense of right and wrong to do the bidding of God, the devil, or just a common mental illness? That is why the Christian exhortation to just have faith is a really bad idea. It's possible to believe in literally anything based on faith, and that includes believing evil is good. That is one of the reasons why so many atheists find it difficult to trust people of faith to be good people. As an atheist and a humanist, I would never be faced with such moral dilemmas because I'm not compelled to follow someone who espouses evil behaviors. I don't have to find excuses for genocide, slavery, rape, cannibalism, and all the other behaviors the God of the Bible causes. I can evaluate actions based on whether they help or harm, and then adopt the former and discard the latter, without having to check an ancient book full of contradictions and carnage to decide how I should behave. In short, I don't think Danzil's theology makes sense. In fact, I think it's a dangerous belief that can only lead an otherwise good person to embrace evil. To me, that's the irony and tragedy revealed in these two debates, because Danzil seems like a genuinely nice guy who wants to be a good person. But even the nicest person in the world who genuinely wants to do good can become an immoral monster if he follows the teachings of an immoral monster.